Hey, Bishop Moore, hope Lent is off to a great start. The next few weeks, we're going to have a reflection each week on the upcoming Sunday's Mass readings. And this week, I'm going to focus on the first reading. And many of us are familiar with this passage. When God calls Abram, who's moved to this new land, this new culture, this new place, and he calls him to go outside and look up at the stars in the sky, and God promises him descendants more numerous than the stars in the sky. But what's interesting is a couple lines later it says, and the sun began to set. So when God made this promise, it was probably daylight out. So when you look up in the sky at daylight, how many stars do you see? Not many, probably just one, right? Probably the sun. So God is making this promise to Abram. Abram's looking up, he's like, God, I don't see any stars, right? But Abram still trusts in faith. He still hopes, even when there's no reason to hope. Same thing in our own lives that God is calling us to. Sometimes like Abram, we look up at the sky, we look at our lives, we look at the world around us, we're like, God, where are you, right? I don't see the promises being fulfilled. I don't see the answers right away. But God's simply calling us to trust him, just like he did for Abram. Just like God did in that moment, he calls us to see that he's working, even when we don't see him at work. Because God doesn't always give us the results or the answers we're looking for right here and now. He simply gives us himself. And that's always more than enough. Just like Christ said in the Gospels, I've come to give you life and life to the full. And sometimes it's not the way we expect or the way we want, but God gives us the fullness of life, and he is so good, and he is always faithful. So this Lent, as we journey through this period of 40 days, preparing for Easter, that coming of Christ at Easter, we ask for the Holy Spirit to guide us to trust, just as Abraham did, just as our Blessed Mother Mary did, to say, God, I trust you. Even when I don't see it, even when I don't see those stars in the sky, I know you're with me. So have a beautiful Lent as we continue this journey together. God bless.